Amantes del cine independiente, en esta ocasión Cindy trae para ustedes una entrevista bajo el pretexto de que tenemos bajo nuestro catálogo The Stylist, estilista, que es una muy buena película de terror, y tenemos aquí a la directora, productora de esta película, así que dejaré que ella se presente para ustedes. So, Jill, we already introduced ourselves. For those who are watching, please tell us who are you, what do you do, and a short introduction about your film, The Stylist, please.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm Jill Gevargizian, sometimes known as Jill 6 as well. I'm a writer, director, producer. I'm also a hairstylist, which heavily influenced the idea behind this movie. I've been a director for like 15 years now, I'm realizing just now. I'm still a hairstylist full-time as well. And yeah, I'm really excited that we're relaunching the film on Cindy. But yeah, The Stylist was a very personal film. It's about a hairstylist. She's a serial killer. And she's also our protagonist. So I try to make you kind of side with the bad guy who would, normally be the person we're scared of. So I hope that works.
It's a great movie. Congratulations for your 15th anniversary as a director.
You.
The idea came from a 2016 short film. So
Yes.
What was the biggest challenge in expanding this twisted Claire's world? In the short, there are some details that didn't make it to the film. There's a kind of a scar or a wound in the neck in the short that didn't make it to the full length. So what was the challenge and your vision in expanding this background of Claire?
Yeah. Oh man, there were challenge-wise, there are so many different things. The writing of it was challenging because, as you bring up, we changed some stuff from the short, and it was kind of an interesting positive that came from the short playing before we even wrote the full feature. It almost played like a test screening, and how we realized a lot of people reacted to those scars on her neck and attributed maybe a big reason to why she's doing what she does to cover up like a physical, maybe deformity or scar of some kind. And there was so much focus on it that I realized that really wasn't what I wanted to say or to be the biggest thing that came out of why she does this, or maybe what's going on in her head. So I decided that and not just me and my co-writer, Eric Havens, that we wanted it to be focused more on what's going on internally and psychologically with this character. And it's not really just about a Band-Aid covering up something that's not, beautiful or perfect. And so we decided to take that out and make it just about make it a psychological issue versus a physical one. But, besides story-wise, really one of the biggest challenges to go from a short to a feature is to find the means, the money and the financing to actually get it off the ground. So it took quite a few years between the two.
And I think you did it great because there's a lot of mystery involving your character. The script gives us some clues about her motivations, but it's quite open to interpretation, and I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it being more open to people having different ideas.
I know for experience that a hairstyle or a color in your hair, it does change the way the people see you, and it gives you kind of an armor or a way to face the world. So the idea of grabbing a personality by scalping, how did it get to your mind? I mean, you're a hairstylist, but to twist this idea, how did it get you?
Slowly, at first I was really sitting there thinking, how is there not already a hairstylist serial killer movie? It's like seemed like an obvious idea, and there's many different ways you could kind of go about it. And then I just first started thinking, I'm like, well, I think she would collect the hair. I'm a big fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and this is definitely incredibly inspired by Leatherface, and how when he wears the different masks in the original film, he changes personality with the masks, if you really pay attention to him. And when he's cooking, he's wearing the more feminine mask, and he's acting more like a motherly character. And I remember thinking, if she's scalping, and I had this like image in my head of her having them on like heads in a room, kind of like a trophy, like a hunter would have their trophies displayed. And it just reminded me of Leatherface. And I was like, she probably wears them. And it just kept kind of like snowballing. I'm like, then she acts like this person, like it's an escape for her, an escape from herself. Which I feel like a lot of us can relate to that idea. And we took it to obviously a very extreme version of wanting an escape from your own mind or your own self. And yeah, it really just snowballed from there. But Leatherface is definitely a huge influence on the character and that idea of the skin wearing and changing personality with it.
Yes, because your killer is quite. I mean, she's lonely, so she tries to. It seems like she didn't have a personality of her own, so she tries to grab these other personalities. I like this personality, so I try to have it, to own it. And you mentioned already the Texas Chainsaw, and your editing reminds me sometimes Brian De Palma with the split screen, and your colors remind me some of the Giallo movies. But were there any other reference or movies that inspired your job in this movie in particular?
Yes, and you definitely nailed it with the Brian De Palma. I watched Sisters, is it Sisters for the first time?
Yes.
When I looked up kind of a list of films that were of the doppelganger theme that kind of compared to the Stylist theme, and I had never seen it. And that one sequence where it's all split screen to like kind of bring these two people to realize that they're in the same place. I was like, that is so freaking cool. We have to do that. But yeah, beyond the ones you mentioned, I like to thematically look for films that are similar and then see if there's stuff from that I want to maybe pull from. And so I did that, and I watched films like Persona, Bergman's old Persona, Sisters, like I mentioned. Also, more modern films, I watched a lot of psychological thrillers, also in that doppelganger thing, like The Black Swan, for instance.
Okay.
Another obsession film. I'm just kind of wanting to become someone else or become something else. A lot of stuff like that.
Another thing grabs my attention on your movie, and it's the kills, the way they were made, and the practical effects. I think your practical effects are quite realistic, and it adds to the experience. So this was a team that you searched, you found. How did you get to that team that made those awesome effects?
Thank you. They are incredible. They were done by Colleen May and her assistant Philip Spruill, and I had worked with them already on my short films. They worked on the Stylist short film, and then my previous short, everything I've needed special effects for up until then, and continued. But yeah, it was just a matter of, I live in Kansas City, Missouri, and I kind of connected with the film scene. I asked a fellow filmmaker when I first started, I'm like, I'm looking for an awesome effects artist. And me and Colleen really connect we're friends as well. And it was really fun to create these scalping effects with her. It was such a unique thing because we needed to cast each actor that would happen to, a decent amount of with a decent amount of time to have the preparation to find a wig that matched, to make sure their hair would match the wig, and to build all the skin and fake stuff to it. That's a big part of why, small spoiler, that I'm in the film. We were like, my hair was all black at the time. We're like, it's an easy thing to get a wig, and I was like a dream to be killed in my movie. So, but they were quite involved effects to build. It was fun in the feature. We tried to do, like each kill differently. We didn't want it just to be like scalping after scalping. Each one, something different happens, or we show something grosser. So that was really fun to do. Like the second kill in the film, she botches and scratches, scrapes her face all up on accident. So that was really fun to do.
Now that you mentioned that you were in your own movie, were you nervous to be an actress in your own movie? I mean, you already had a shorts experience, but this was your first feature length, no? So it was I think it was a bold decision to be in and out.
No, I was very nervous. I'm not someone that's really trying to be an actor per se. I know a lot of directors do both, and I get very shy once the camera's on me. I'm like, well, I can't do this. Like interviews are fine, but on trying to act, I just like close down and get terrified. But and I'm surprised I was able to do it. But Najara, our lead actor, who plays Claire, she really she in fact helped me so much. She almost directed me through it and helped me kind of put my mind in a place where I was just focused on like I was really just in that moment and not all the camera and crews around. And I also felt like less intimidated that I die fast. I wasn't doing a lot of I'm good at dying acting, I think, but not the talking part. Every time I first opened the door in that scene, I'm like, I don't want to see myself. But no, it was a lot of fun. And then actually our editor that you brought up, the editing, John Pata, I asked him to direct that scene for me, just as someone I could trust would be behind the camera. So I wouldn't go like watch every single one. I was like, don't let me watch them. Just tell me it's good or not.
No, you did it great. Congratulations. And I have another question for you. I'm so happy that nowadays we have so many examples of female directors, and the female gaze, I think, it's so important because we were missing so much themes and so much perspectives about maybe the same things but in another view. So I have an idea of your movie. Normally in these slashers horror films, the male gaze treat women with nudity or sexiness, no?
Yeah.
But in your film, this sensual part, I felt it in the haircut or the trimming in the hair is just in slow motion and just so not sexual, not erotic, but sensual.
Yeah.
Is this right, or is just my dirty mind?
No, it is right. We definitely did think that through. Like me, our cinematographer Robert Stern, and the editor, we were like really crafted those moments. Like we'll shoot it like it's like how it is playing in Claire's mind. Like, she like almost romanticizes this hair, like maybe in the silly idea that she's in a way loves hair so much that it is somewhat sensual. So yeah, we really make all those hair washing and cutting scenes really sensual and romantic. But yeah, really like we wanted to add lots of like elegance and romance into this like very disturbing story to kind of juxtaposition how messed up it really is. But with lots of our decisions, we were thinking with like how we would shoot it or edit was more of like, let's make this feel how Claire's feel. Maybe the camera isn't a totally reliable source. Like it's more of reflecting Claire's perspective, even though it's not literally, coming from her face.
I felt it like it was almost like a sacramental thing, that like the hair is so important for her, and because maybe it involves the personality that he will own after. I like the way you treat that theme. Now, first, congratulations, because I know that your movie is now available in an Arrow edition.
Yes.
In DVD and Blu-ray. So I love Arrow editions with all the extras and the I mean, I love the physic movies.
Yes.
What are your thoughts in the possible extinction of this format?
Yeah, that scares me as a movie fan. That everything would go totally digital. I mean, I know tons of people already. I think people outside of us, like movie nerds, that don't collect movies, a lot of people don't have physical copies already. People have only streaming already. Tons of friends, I'll be like, I could lend you my movie, and they're like, I don't even have a player. So it scares me that could happen very soon. I hope that us movie lovers will keep the physical copy. Like if we keep buying them, then they won't stop selling them. And especially like smaller companies, like, I mean, they're not that small, but like Arrow or Criterion, the people who really make like beautiful collector editions of films. I would pray that if the bigger stuff stopped, at least those companies would not. But who knows what's going to happen? But just the downside of it being streaming only is we don't have the same quality of sound, of picture. You just can't control it. It's not. It's based on your internet connection, and so it's just. I just hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I hope that too. Speaking about the female gaze, there are now so many great examples of movies made by female directors. Like the Substance, the Babadook. But are you aware of some of these horror films made in Latin America or Mexico? Some titles that you might recommend us or something like that?
Yes. Now I wish I could think oh, well, I can. I'm like trying to think specifically of a female as well that came. The first film that came to mind is Tigers Are Not Afraid, which I know is
great movie.
It's a beautiful film. It's kind of a mix of drama, fantasy, horror, but I love films that you can't pinpoint the one genre that it is. Another favorite that comes to mind is Here Comes the Devil by Adrian Bogliano. Hope I'm saying his last name right. That movie is about 10 years old. In fact, I first saw it when the Stylist short film was playing, and I got to play the same festival. And he went on to make Late Phases, which actually was written by Eric Stolz, who also co-wrote The Stylist. It's interesting, the film world is like very connected and small. I'm also a big fan of Gigi Guerrero, who I know is from Canada, but she is a Mexican filmmaker. Yeah.
Great recommendations. And I mention it because I don't know if you're aware of this, but Cindy has inside his catalog the first horror Mexican film. It's called La Llorona, and it's about the weeping woman.
Yes.
This legend. In Kansas, there's this legend of the weeping woman.
No, but I have heard of this specific legend. I'm going to mispronounce it if I try to say it. I know there's been a few films made about it, a few different ones. Yeah.
Yes. But Cindy offers to us the first horror Mexican film. I hope you get the chance to see it. Well, that's about it. I don't have any more questions for you, but I want to congratulate you again because your film, I think it's awesome. I just watched Ghost Game. Ghost Game, yes. It's quite more ambitious, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a film I was hired to make, written by, which that was also a really cool experience to have, like my first for being hired to direct something versus The Stylist was something we had to fight to get made for a long time. And Ghost Game was written by Adam Caesar, who wrote Clown in a Cornfield, which was a book and now a film. It's a pretty fun one. But yeah, Ghost Game was a lot of fun. And if you guys can, I'm not sure if it's streaming anywhere in Latin America yet. I hope so, but go find it somewhere, please.
I watched it, I think, in Tubi, but I prefer your personal view in The Stylist. So, Jill, thanks a lot for this interview. All the independent movie lovers, go and watch The Stylist. Any other thoughts about your movie?
No, I'm just so proud that I still get to talk about it. It's such a personal project, and I'm very proud of it. So please watch it, and I hope you like it. Thank you for having me.
No, they sure will. It's a great movie and a great first attempt. I'm looking forward for your career.
Thank you. I need to get to work.
Jill. Thank you, Jill. Greetings from Mexico, and thank you.
Thank you.